Here is the story time how I am somehow the reason for my mom and her ex-boyfriend's breakup. I was having a girls' night with like all of my best friends at this restaurant in Chicago. And as soon as I sat at my table with my friends, I looked out the window, saw my mom's boyfriend with another woman. But I think nothing of this because if he's with another woman, I'm like, oh my God, my mom knows. Of course my mom knows. Like, why would she not? Regardless, I take a photo, send it to my sister. I'm like, ugh, look who's here. Because I don't want to have to go say hi. Like, I know I have to go say hello. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, it's a girls' night. I don't, because he'll be like, loves me so much. He'll want me to sit at the table, buy me drinks, talk for hours. And I just like don't have that in me. I just want to drink my dirty martini with my girls and just like not be bothered by him really. The joke is on fucking me. So I go outside with one of my best friends and I'm like, you know what, let's just say hi to him so I can get this over with and we can just like enjoy our night. So I walk up to him and I'm like, hello, and he looks at me like this. Clearly the man is startled and immediately he's like, oh my God, what are you doing here? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, he is not happy to see me whatsoever and I'm like thrown off by his energy and I'm like, what are the vibes here? But I introduced myself to her and I'm like, hi, I'm Dina's daughter, his girlfriend. And he's like, oh my God, when I saw you girls walking up here, I thought you guys were hookers. Mind you, this is my best friend's first time meeting him. And I'm like, what the fuck? First of all, I did not look like a hooker. I was wearing jeans and a long sleeve top. I was like, this is what hookers wear. And I look at him and I'm like, she's wearing Balenciaga sneakers right now and you think we're fucking hookers? I'm like, what are you saying? Like, you're making absolutely no sense right now. And then this man is like, are you on something? Oh my God, you're on drugs right now. Side note, you guys need to remember, or just need to know in general, I don't do drugs. I've never done drugs, like any hard drugs or anything like that, because I have so much anxiety and I've just made it a known fact with all of my friends and my family. Like, my mom knows this, literally everybody knows this. I'm like, you can give me hard drugs, but I'll check us all into the psych ward because it's just not gonna go well. So I stay away from that because I'm already an anxious person and a latte gets me fucked up. Makes me feel like jumping off a building. So like I stay away from the hard drugs. So when he's looking at me being like, you're on drugs, like you're fucked up right now. I'm like, I've had one sip of my Tito's extra dirty martini with blue cheese olives. I am not fucked up right now. And you and I both know I don't do drugs. So go to part 2.
Story time about how my parents are both felons for aiding and abetting murder and kidnapping while I do my makeup because I'm bored. The one was my father, unfortunately, and it was like 16 years ago, so I was like 3 years old, and one of their like best friends had somebody, not him, he didn't help them do it for clarification, but he let them hide out at our house basically while the like police were looking for him, you know, and then the police like surrounded our house and killed him in our backyard. So somehow my mother like got out of it and didn't get in like any legal trouble, so I don't know how that's even possible. So the kidnapping one was my mom, and this was actually recently. She had lost custody of my little brother and like didn't want to give him up to his dad because he was like crazy pants or whatever, and he is crazy pants. But so she went on like the run for like months, dude, like months. Eventually the police caught her, you know, as they do, and then she went to jail for quite a while, actually, like a year, probably more actually. My father was kinging it up, don't play. Granted, I haven't been told the reason that the guy freaking somebody, but supposedly it's a good reason. I don't know, my dad was just being a real one. I can't say anything against it. My mother, however, is absolutely insane, like really off the fucking rocker. We don't fuck with her.
Get ready with me while I tell you how I got into my first and only relationship at 13 and lasted until I was 18. I have made story times about this person before, so some of you guys probably know. I know when you think about like a 13-year-old getting in a relationship, you probably think like, oh, childish. No, I feel like this, to me anyway, I'm just a very emotionally attached person, and this actually like meant a lot to me. It left me, you know, some trauma. This is quite literally my first love story, even as a little girl, yes. So my second semester of 8th grade, I had moved out to the city that I currently lived in. So I started going to a whole new school, and this is where I met him. So I was 13 in middle school. A couple months passes of going to this new school, and I make friends with this girl in my Spanish class. We sat across from each other, so one day in class, she told me, oh, I have a friend who thinks you're cute. She was like, oh, have you seen me walking around with him? Like, I'm always walking around with him. At that age, I had never been like, oh, I want a boyfriend. Like, I didn't really care to have a boyfriend or to even talk to anyone. Days go by and I'm in lunch and I see my friend from Spanish class walking with a guy, so I assumed that that was who she was talking about. Days later, she comes up to me and she introduces me the guy, which was him. When she introduced me to him, what had me shook was that he shook my hand, because like no kid my age has shook my hand. 13-year-olds and kids that age, they all dab each other up and stuff. I don't know, I found it weird that he shook my hand and like held onto it and kept looking at me. I remember a friend of mine had added me to a group chat where he was in it. At the time, I didn't know him, I didn't speak to him. And on the group chat, I don't know who or how it happened, but someone started talking about them shipping us together or something like that. The one thing that I remember from that group chat was because he was big and I've always been really small, petite, and skinny. Someone in the group chat had literally commented, oh, it would be like a gorilla on a monkey. Girl, I really don't remember how the conversation went because this was in 8th grade, bitch. I remember that someone basically had told him to like, oh, go and text me privately. And he was like, bet I will, or something like that. And he hadn't texted me. Like that night he didn't text me. My little 13-year-old ass was embarrassed because in the group chat, someone had made it look like I said that I would date him. And to me, that was embarrassing at the time because I didn't even know him. So in the group chat, since he had said, okay, bet, I was like waiting for that text. I thought he was gonna text me, but I was embarrassed. And since he hadn't texted me, I thought maybe he thought I was weird or something. So the next day at school, I was hella like shitting bricks. I was trying to avoid him at all costs. So after 5th period was when I got to see him during passing period, and I was trying to avoid him. I literally went to go third wheel with my friend at the time, so I wouldn't have to cross paths with him. But he saw me anyway and he came up to me. The only thing he asked me when he came up to me was, can I text you on Instagram? And I was like, bitch, and tell me why. Like, I actually didn't want to. I really wasn't interested to talk to nobody at all. I don't know why the fuck, like, I just stayed staring at him. And I was like, yeah, for sure. I really feel like it was the fact that he didn't go right away and text me on Instagram. Instead, like, he waited for the next day to come up to me in person and ask me in person if he could text me on Instagram. I was like, as an 8th grader, like, who has the mind to even think about that? We started talking from then, and this was actually, like, the first guy I actually ever talked to, like, talking. I remember we talked for a couple weeks. We would talk during lunch. He would walk me to my classes. He didn't think someone my age at that time would, like, act the ways he would act towards me. 2-3 weeks go by and I start thinking to myself, like, what am I doing? Like, Miriam, you're literally 13. Like, what are you doing even talking to a guy like this that you're not even sure you're interested in? Because I really wasn't sure I was interested in him, and I really didn't want a relationship because even at 13 years old, I knew that relationships at that age weren't real. You think of them more as childish. Since I started overthinking that, I had decided that I was gonna stop talking to him, convinced myself that I was too young to even be talking to anyone, that I was better just to be alone for now. So I tell him that it's better if we just stop talking, and he's all kind of like, why, and this and that. But we stopped talking for a while. This was in 8th grade, and when we stopped talking up until we entered high school. The rest of that 8th grade year, there was like 2 times that he tried convincing me to start talking to him again and try to make things work out. I remember he would even give me examples about like old broken cars and how you needed to like work on them to fix it, to like make it better. He would use those examples to explain why we should keep talking. Honestly, it wasn't even that I didn't like him. He actually came off and spoke very mature for guys that were our age. So that was one thing that surprised me at 13 years old when I started talking to him. I just wasn't sure. So I was like, why am I gonna keep talking to someone if I'm not even sure? Some of you guys might think that I'm making it sound deep, but even at that age, I never took being with someone or relationship as a joke. I've always thought, even as a little girl, that when I'm with someone, it's gonna be something real, not something like temporary or something childish. Girl, Maddie knew who she was at a young age. She knew she wanted the one and the one only. So, bitch, summer comes, the whole summer goes by, and tell me why, towards the end of the summer, for some fucking reason, I started to think about this guy. I started to think about him a lot. I was like, I was never really interested in him like this. Like, why am I like all of a sudden just thinking about him? Like, bitch, I could have sworn I wasn't really that attracted to him. I could have sworn I didn't really like him. This is crazy because I remember the exact day that I was thinking about him. He had like literally hit me up later that day on Instagram.
I might just steal your bitch. That's on God. I might pull up in that 6. That's on God.
Hey guys, how are you so pretty? Genetics. What texture spray do you use? Pretty expensive, girly. Where did you get your curling iron? Just because you use the same curling iron as me doesn't mean your hair is gonna look like mine. But it's in my Amazon storefront under hair care. Will I take any song requests? What do you guys want to listen to? Taylor Swift. She's so overrated. Where did you get your cross necklace? I have 2 cross necklaces. A pearl one
I thrifted it, so I don't think you'll be able to get it. Have you ever had lip filler? Your lips look so pretty. Can one of my mods block her? Love your extensions. Can somebody block her too, please? So cool. I didn't know you liked AC/DC. I didn't know you were so obsessed with me. What shampoo and conditioner do you use? You guys probably haven't heard of it. How do you get your teeth so white? I brush them. Can you guys stop asking so many boring questions and ask some fun ones? How long have you and your boyfriend been together? Can one of my mods block this nosy girl? Your hair looks so good. Your hair looks so pretty. Can you guys stop spamming the comments? I'm about to hop off. Wait, I'm late. What curling iron did you use? I'm hopping off, guys. I've already answered this.
Here's why I called the police over a post-it note. Spooky story time. So one day I come home from school and I find a post-it note on the kitchen table. It's from my mum, who's basically telling me that my dad was working late that night, that she had gone shopping, both of my brothers had gone to football practice. So basically I was home alone. Because of this, I made sure to lock the door, popped my phone down on the sideboard in the hallway, then went upstairs to get changed. As I was getting undressed, I noticed a little sticky note on my bed. So I picked it up and read it, thinking that it would be another little message from my mum, but no. It said, there is someone in the house. I was not concerned at all. I assumed it was my younger brothers playing a trick on me. And I'm like, haha guys, very funny. You're not scaring me. So I just carry on my evening and I go downstairs to get a snack from the fridge. And inside the fridge, there's another note that says, there's no one here, just you and me. So I'm like, right, this is obviously a prank that's going too far. I said, right guys, stop it. No answer. At that point, I was like, fuck this, I'm out. Ran to the front door, tried to unlock it. The door would not open. Turned round to grab my keys from off the hook where I'd left them, and my keys had disappeared. My phone was also no longer on the table. So I picked up the phone to call the police. There was no dial tone. Picked up the phone box, and to my absolute horror, realised that the line had been cut. There was another note left by the phone that said no phone, no police, no way out. So I'm like, right, I can't get out the front door, I'll go out the back door. This door was also locked. There was another note. The note read, look up. I would be looking down. Hanging from the ceiling was our family cat. You can fuck with me, but you don't fuck with the cat, okay? At this point, I was panicking. I couldn't find my phone anywhere, but I found my laptop. So I emailed my best friend and I said, someone is in my house, call the police. I'm thinking I need to defend myself. So I went over to the knife drawer to grab the biggest one I could find. Guess what? There was no knives, but a note read, children shouldn't play with sharp objects. At that point, I ran upstairs, I checked under my bed and inside my closet and there was no one in there. This is where I would stay until the police arrived. The TV in my room turned on all of a sudden, with just static on the screen. Then all of a sudden on the TV, a post-it note appeared that said, now I have you where I want you. Minutes later, I heard the sound of sirens coming to my house. The police arrived and they broke down the front door. Police literally searched the entire house, top to bottom, and it was empty. As the officers were interviewing me, one of them spotted something. There was a sticky note attached to my back. He pulled it off and handed it to me, and on the sticky note it read, I was this close.
1. Blocked.
You guys keep asking me for updates on the guy who took me out on a really nice date, so get ready with me for his race. I was trying not to mention that he's a race car driver, but it doesn't really make sense that I'm getting ready for a race if I don't explain what it's for. Me and my dad are going. Here's the tickets. It's at like the Indy 500 racetrack. I don't even know what you call it, like the auto sports racetrack. I literally have to leave here in 12 minutes. I got out of class at 1 and I'm supposed to be at the track at like 2 to 2:30 and the track is like 14 minutes away. I'm going early because he said that I could sit in the race car, which is like so weird. Like, is that not the coolest thing ever? I'm literally gonna be sitting in a Lamborghini. Like, what is going on? Makeup better cooperate today because I do not have time to mess around. I'm literally running off barely any sleep and like 2 coffees and I just took an exam and I'm so hungry and stressed out right now, so I just don't have time for my makeup to fail. Not to mention my hair was also supposed to be down, but the water here makes my hair disgusting, so I had to put it into a slick back, which is fine since it's like 90 degrees out today, so honestly it was probably for the best. But I'm going to my sister's house after the race because my family came in, so I'm gonna spend the night there tonight. It's so nice that my sister lives so close because I don't have to go home as often because my family comes down here a lot. Actually, I literally have 9 minutes. I'm like shaking right now. I need to keep hustling. This is also my first race car race I've ever been to. My dad's been to like the Indy 500 and he loves it. My brother-in-law's family goes every single year. I just have not had the chance to go. And then I'm pretty sure I'm going to another race thing with him on Sunday. I'm not really sure what that entails, but I'm literally so stressed right now. My makeup is not cooperating how I want it to. I totally did not take into consideration that I have to walk all the way to the parking garage. Okay, I'm gonna go do my eye makeup in the bathroom so I can see what I'm doing. I'll be right back. I'm stressing. I forgot to pack an overnight bag, so I'm like doing that at the same time. I have to leave in 2 minutes. My makeup's gonna have to be good enough. I'll do my lips and stuff in the car and maybe touch some stuff up. I just have these white jean shorts on, my little Hot Wheels shirt, and then my New Balances. Anyway, I gotta go, so I hope you guys have a great day. I'll let you know how the race and stuff goes, so peace out. Love you. Bye.
Can we just talk about how weird frats are? Like, let's not even get into the parties that they throw, okay? Like, if you're a baddie attending their parties, please watch out. Let me tell you guys why. One of my friends attended their party and let me tell this story time, so buckle in, get some popcorn, okay? Backstory, the people in the frat were majority white boys. You guys know what I'm talking about, okay? And they had a history of kind of, like, not letting people of color into their parties. Okay, just to paint the picture, my best friend who went to that party is Hispanic and the friend that she went with is Middle Eastern. Okay, so they asked my best friend and her friend to pay to get in, but the girls before them just went in, no payment. Okay, you guys already know what I'm trying to say. Like, honestly, if they pulled that shit on me, I would have just left, but they wanted to go in, so that's them. So my best friend and her friend, like, they don't drink, so like they go to parties to just like obviously dance and hang out with people who weren't drinking. They could notice that these frat guys were pushing drinks onto the white girls. Okay, shots after shots after shots, and they noticed that the frat guys were not drinking. Like, they were pretending to drink. Like they would serve the girls a shot and then pretend to drink with them, but like not drink it at all. Like, they seen these girls get so wasted to the point where they couldn't even like hold themselves up. Okay, and obviously, since my friend seen this one girl that like could not stand for the life of her, we're legit trying to carry her out of the party and like take her home. And please tell me why one of the frat guys came up to my friends, right, and told her like, oh no, this is my girlfriend, like you can just leave her there on the couch, like she'll be fine, she'll be fine. My best friend legit told me that she could not speak a sentence. Like, that's how fucked up she was, and on top of that, she was throwing up. Okay, she told me that he ended up taking her to his room, which I don't even know what ended up happening with that. My friend ended up trying to help someone else. Like, there was this girl that was like laying like on the floor of the frat house, and if you guys don't know, frat houses are disgusting. Okay, like there are diseases on the floor in frat houses. Okay, sentence, she didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like, she was so intoxicated, again, she could not speak. Okay, like clockwork, another frat guy comes out being like, oh, you need to mind your own business, she's good, she's just resting, you guys need to go. So they basically kicked out my friends, okay, for trying to help girls that were a little too intoxicated. What do you think that means? What do you think that means? And listen, that shit happened months ago. Okay, so now girls are speaking up against that frat, saying that they got assaulted. And my friend expresses to me almost every single day about how she regrets not doing more. And not only that, but there's just so many things like going on in frats like that are just so weird as fuck. Like, I'm not saying all frats are weird, but definitely watch out from frat guys and like going to frat parties, because I definitely heard a lot more stories. This is the finished makeup look. I will be posting my makeup tutorial on my YouTube today, so please go subscribe. It's in the bio. As always, I love you guys so much. Bye.
Have you ever done something and then immediately regretted it the second you did it? That's what happened to me when I smiled at a guy at the gas station. It was early evening and I normally only get gas at the daytime, but I didn't have enough gas left in my tank to get home, so I was forced to stop. Get out to fill my tank. The only other person there is a guy that looks like around my age. He looks at me, and because I'm still in like customer service mode because I had just gotten off my shift, I just flash a polite smile at him like this. In that moment, I was like, I should not have done that. So I put my head down and I'm like, okay, hopefully he's like just gonna leave me alone. And then I hear this guy go, excuse me, is this your car? And I look up at him and he's wearing like full mechanic gear. And a week earlier, a guy had stopped me to tell me there was something wrong with my car. So I thought like maybe he was coming up to me to do the same thing. So I was like, yeah, this is my car. He goes, oh, okay. I just wanted to come up and introduce myself because I thought you had a beautiful smile. Remind you, I am alone at this gas station with him. There's no one else around. Normally, my go-to strategy would be to pretend that I don't understand English. My current plan of action is to just be as polite as possible and then
get out. So I'm like, thank you. And then I turn my head back to my car, head down, try not to look at him. And he goes, well, it's nice to meet you. My name's whatever. Like, what's your name? I'm like weighing the pros and cons. Will it make him more mad if I don't answer him? So I just give him a fake name. I'm like, oh, my name's Emily. Again, go back to what I'm doing. I was trying to make myself, like, again, polite, but like I was trying to give him nothing because I was just trying to get him to get the clue that like I do not want to talk to him. But he was like, Emily, nice to meet you. I was hoping I could get your number. I don't want to give him my number, obviously. I'm kind of like scared of denying him. I know it sounds bad, but again, guys, like I was kind of in fight or flight mode. But I was like, I don't know my phone number off the top of my head. And then he's like, why don't I just give you my number? I'm trying to play so stupid here. I'm like, oh, I don't have any paper or pens in my car. Like, I can't write down your number. Sorry. I think any normal person here would get the hint that like, I do not want to talk to you. I do not want to give you my number. But he persists. He's like, well, why don't you just write it down in your phone? Then I go, I forgot my phone. I don't have it on me. Sorry. He's like, oh, damn. Okay, that sucks. And then walks away. But as he's walking away, he looks into my car and then he slowly turns around to me and he looks pissed. And he says, you said you don't have your phone on you? And in that moment, I realized I left my phone on my driver's seat. So as he's looking into my car, he can see I do have my phone on me. It's in clear view. And he looks mad because he realizes I was lying to him. And I know somebody in the comments is going to be like, this was your opportunity to use your chest and say, I don't want to give you my number. Look, I was trying to make it out of this situation, okay? So my plan of action now was just to play really stupid. I go, no, you're right. I do have my phone on me. And he goes, okay, great, then I'll give you my number. So I'm like, okay, what's the worst that can happen? He'll put his number in my phone and I'll just like delete it immediately. Then we don't have to ever think about this again. He puts his number in my phone and then he immediately calls himself. And he says, oh, I'm just giving myself a quick call so I can also have your number. I'm like, okay, great. So now I have to block him. I'm done with my gas and I get in my car, drive home, immediately block his number. And I'm thinking it's going to be the end of it because like you can't message me if I blocked you. But I wake up the next day and he's messaged me on WhatsApp. He's like, hey, Emily, something weird's going on with iMessage. How about that date? Again, block him immediately. An entire year later, I get a message from a random number and it says, hey, Emily, just got a new phone. Still thinking about that date. And the only reason I know it's him is because I haven't given out the fake name Emily to anyone else. But like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I did not lead him on in any way. He was 100% trying to like intimidate me into talking to him or like going out with him. I blocked him twice. I told this story once to a guy. He was like, isn't that a sad reflection of our modern dating era that you can't meet a woman organically at the gas station anymore? I don't think you could ever meet a woman organically at the gas station. I think that was always scary. Just don't do that, okay? Bye, guys.
Get ready with me to go to dinner while I am going through a breakup. I don't even know the right way to start talking about this. This was obviously super out of the blue. It's been kind of on and off in a process throughout the last, I don't know, 2 weeks. As you guys probably started to pick up on, this has been and obviously is really hard. One thing I am so grateful for is how much I prioritize myself and have my own individuality and never let a relationship define me. I've definitely spent my time being upset, but I've found the most clarity now that I'm prioritizing myself and doing the things I love. And once you start doing that, you really realize you don't need someone else to be happy. Can we talk about how weird a time of life college is though? Like your young 20s is, like it's the weirdest time. I feel like half the people I know are single and having the time of their lives and doing all these crazy things, and then the other half boyfriends that they are with 24/7. The thought of being single is really hard for me to digest. Never been someone who like wanted to be like single and free. Like that's not something that interests me. Like having a companion, I've always wanted to get married young. I'm not afraid of commitment, and I love having someone to love. Obviously so many more aspects. I was so in love, but I don't want to talk about that. The reason I'm only talking about myself is because I feel like nothing's been about me in weeks, and I just want this video to be about myself. My friends have been so amazing at keeping me distracted. Going out to dinner and having things to take my mind off of things have been so beneficial, as to where if you're like sitting in bed with all these thoughts and emotions alone, like you're just gonna dwell forever. And clearly I've already done that. I went MIA for a week, so it is time for me to get my sparkle back and become Miss Independent Avery again. Can't wait to see who I become in this single era, because I feel like this is gonna be the best thing for me right now. It definitely didn't feel like it for a while, but I'm kind of coming over this hill of like, Avery, you need to be alone. You need to learn how to be alone. You need to grow into your adult self without someone else. I need to start curling my hair ASAP. I'm running low on time here.
Tina Carlisle, pleased to meet you.
The pleasure's all mine.
Hey guys, get ready with me for the first day of school. I don't want anybody to speak to me or look at me, and I want to go back to bed. I went to bed at like 9:30. I am so tired. Like, I got like 7 hours of sleep and I'm exhausted. I don't know where any of my classes are because I went to orientation, but I was like, I already know my way around the school, but that's gonna backfire because I don't know where any of my classes are. I packed my lunch last night because I packed a lot of food because I eat a lot of food, and I didn't want to make it this morning because I wanted to sleep in as late as possible, but I woke up at 5:15. But I mean, I got 15 more minutes of sleeping, I guess. I know you guys are like so excited for the school get ready with me, but I am not. The things I would do to stay home or just to get back in my bed and not have school for like another week. And of course, like, my whole face was cleared up and then I just wake up with that big old pimple on my chin. I'm probably gonna break out in tears today at school. Like, I'm being so serious. This group of incoming freshmen are insane. Like, I love some of them, but some of them are like legit insane. I'm going into my sophomore year, if you guys didn't know. I know I look older and you guys think I was probably older, but I'm only a sophomore. I don't really know what I'm doing for makeup. I'm kind of just pulling stuff out of my vanity and using it because I haven't done like this much makeup in a while. And I'm not gonna do like a ton of makeup. Like, I don't do full coverage stuff, but I kind of just lost my words. I don't know what I was gonna say. Okay, so for outfit, I'm wearing this American Eagle jeans and these shoes. Like, they're so cute. I had another outfit picked out and I put both of them on my Snapchat story. More people voted the other one, but I don't think that they saw that the shirt and the shoes were like different shades of pink, which was like throwing me off. Bro, of course I left my like NARS putty concealer at my mom's house, so I can't cover up my stupid pimple. I haven't met any of my teachers yet. Actually, I know one of them because she was my teacher last year, but I'm kind of scared because if they're mean, we're gonna have problems. Tomorrow for school, I'd be pulling up in sweats because this is the only time that I'm dressing up, but we have a volleyball game tomorrow, I think, and we have to dress up for home volleyball games. Okay, I'm just setting my face because like my base is done. Or I don't even know what this is called, but we're setting it because it's not coming off. Okay, I was gonna do bronzer, but I'm actually not gonna do bronzer because I feel like my face is already like, I don't know, fine. I thought Rare Beauty blush would never run out. I'm literally getting down to the bottom. I also mix that with this e.l.f. Halo, or whatever this is called. Oh yeah, it is Halo Glow Beauty Wand Blush. It's really good. I was just gonna say this is kind of like a long get ready with me, but I remember I used to make like 7-minute get ready with me, which I don't know how you guys watch. But okay, I'm gonna do my lashes now, and then I'll be back. Okay, I've literally been messing with my lashes for like 20 minutes, and I don't know I like how they look or not. Okay, I'm just gonna stop messing with them because they're just gonna casually or slowly get worse. Okay, my curls still need to like calm down a little bit, and they'll get better throughout the day, but this is what they look like right now. Okay, but that okay, but that's it for my first day. Get ready with me. Bye guys, I love you so much.
Story time, how I fought my own best friend. And sorry if my story times are super long, but I can't add the whole achievement into 60 seconds. Trust me, I tried and no. So long story short, I met this girl back in 2022. She was a lot younger than me. We were best friends. We became best friends like since the start, girl. Like when I tell you she was super nice to me, whatever. But later on it started to get a little more, ill vibes. Like, we were cool to the point where I went to her house and stuff. You know, like, we would buy each other stuff. Like, I bought her, like, ice cream. She would buy me little bracelets. Like, it was a cute little friendship. I'll give it that. But fast forward a couple months pass, and I started being friends with everybody else. Like, everybody else. Oh, here's the foundation, because everybody keeps asking me for it, and I keep typing it in the comments, and apparently everybody ignores it, but here it is. But I genuinely think she didn't like the fact that I was, like, being friendly with other girls, you know? Like, if she had a problem with the girl, she could have told me, but she never told me nothing. Until this one time in particular, she really threw me off with the little comments she was making, though. She was like, oh, like, my uncle is from Colombia. If you know from Colombia, it's known for the booger sugar being really good. Not that I know. But she was like, yeah, he really is like that, like, girl, like, my family. And I was like, bitch, if you was a fucking Chapo 2.0 motherfucker, why the fuck are you coming to this ghetto school? Why don't you pay $1,000 to go to a private school? And the shorty just stayed quiet. I guess that's what kind of, like, bothered her, because I literally humbled her. I was like, girl, what the heck? Like, don't try to claim something you are not. And ever since that day, I guess it just got under her skin. And then literally another week passes by, and she's like, oh, I'm really a hood. And I was like, girl, what the hood? And I literally told her, I was like, oh, so what's your, you know, bandana color? Because, you know, this girl hit me with a gray. Bitch, what the fuck you mean gray? Like, this kind of gray? She was like, yeah. I was like, what the fuck does that stand for? She was like, it stands for peace. I seen the movie Boys in the Hood and all that bullshit, and I've never seen none of that. So that's when I realized, I was like, I need to distance myself from this fucking bitch. The fuck? She false claiming and she swears she's a fucking narco? What the fuck? So then she had invited me to her house, right? And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna go to your house. Bitch, I go. This bitch live in the suburbs. I was like, this is what you call the hood? Bitch, I was youngin' with no fucking milk. I had to eat cereal right out the box. I had to get food from the cafeteria and bring it back home. I would eat my own boogers. Just kidding. Like, don't get me wrong. Her house was nice as fuck or whatever. Like, it was cool. Look, I have evidence that I went. For certain reasons, this is me and this is her. I went to her house, bro. But honestly, I was pretty shocked because I was like, girl, you say that you're from the hood and you live in a nice, pretty house. Like, don't get me wrong. That's good that you live in a nice home, you know? Hey. But after that, like, ever since that day, like, after that, bro, like, we just, like, I don't know. She would make, like, certain little comments, like, try to make me look bad in front of dudes. Like, she had that habit of trying to make me look bad in front of dudes. Like, this one time, she knew I liked this other guy, right? Tell me why. She's like, oh, you want my water bottle so you won't have to go to your car? We had gotten into an argument that day in class. I think I have the video. It won't let me upload it, but long story short, me and her I just called her desperate ass bitch, and she was like, for who? For who? So this is where things start to get, you know, a little escalated. So literally the principal had came for her to the class. He came for her. As soon as she reaches outside the door, she starts getting rattled up. Come find me, bitch. Come outside. I was like, ho, is you cool? Like, I know this girl ain't stupid enough to try to argue with two girls knowing damn well she about to get jumped. Like, and ever since that day, me and her fell out hard. Fast forward next year. This is already junior year. I had her for all my fucking classes. The principal and the counselor knew damn well what had happened between me and her the year prior. Like, girl, when I tell you this girl was a big bully, like, she would talk so much shit. Like, I would literally be sitting in front of her and she'd be like, yeah, last time we argued and she didn't even do nothing. That bitch scary, fucking pussy ass bitch. Like, wait, no mames, güey, eres una pinche morrida, te puedo partir tu puta madre la verga. And this went on for, like, I think more than a month of her just talking shit. Like, she'll walk past by me, like, she'll laugh, she'll talk. Her and her little fucking minions will look at me and laugh. She was one of those fucking bitches that needed an army to laugh at me. So then there's this one day, I had her for this one class, right? She was talking to this one guy behind me and was like, oh, like, why aren't you and her friends no more? Y'all used to be best friends. This girl just started talking out of her ass and was like, oh, fuck that bitch, you know, she ain't doing nothing that day. I posted up with her. Mind you, she didn't even post up. She posted right outside the door knowing damn well the principal was holding her. So I was like, okay, bitch, all right. So as soon as class is dismissed, it's already time to go home, mind you. Like, this shorty was walking in front of me. Like, girl, is you dumb? Like, I could literally catch you behind your back. But I was like, nah, we're gonna make it fair. Her grandma picks her up, bro. When I tell you that she had the balls to laugh, look at me and look at her grandma. Her and her old ass fucking granny look at me and start laughing, bro. I was like, ain't no way her and her fucking granny are talking shit about me. The fuck? Bitch, you're about to die. The fuck? My bad, because TikTok people be sensitive. And I was super cool with the security guard. I was like, yo, mister, I'm warning you, I'm gonna fight the bitch tomorrow. He hit me with a, no, it's not worth it, no, woo. I was like, bro, nah. Shorty keep talking shit and like, she think I'm some weak bitch. So next day comes around. Girl, when I tell you, I wake up, I don't even put makeup on. I am ready to squabble up, you know? I slick my hair down, right? Like, I'm talking about slick, tight ponytail, extra hairspray, extra gel, no lashes, and rings. Bro, I pull up fast as hell to school that morning. I pull up, but I'm like, I'm not gonna fight her this early. I'm gonna wait till second period. Woo. Second period comes around. I see her walking. I was like, yo, bitch. I was like, stop talking so much shit, bitch, and running, hoe. The fuck? When I tell you, her and her little fucking friend laughed at me, I was like, oh, you wanna laugh, puta? And this one guy in particular saw me pressing her, so he was like, oh shit. So me and him start walking in class, the same class we had her in, second period. And he was like, oh, once we go in, he was like, oh, are you gonna fight her? Like, out loud, bro. Me being already mad as fuck, I was like, yes, but the bitch don't want to post up with her fucking fake ass. Girl, I said out loud, I ain't give a fuck. Back then, I was a little, you know, little ghetto. Class starts and they take away our phones. Tell me why this bitch waits till we all get our phones back. This bitch feeling bold. She's like, so what you say about me? What you say about me? I didn't even argue with her. I was like, running. She did not motherfucking run it. So I ended up throwing the first punch where I fucked up. Boom, we started tussling. Tell me what this girl starts pulling my hair, bro. Like, in the video, you can see she pulls my hair first. I get mad. I say, boom, on the edge of the table. Like, it's not, the fight wasn't like, oh my god. No, it was a little small fight. But still, boom, she's on the ground. I start punching her. She ends up biting my middle finger. She was hungry for me. Fast forward, the fight's over. She's from her nose and mouth where her dumb ass just goes like this and ends up spreading it all over her face. Then the principal comes in rushing. She's like, oh my god, did you? And I was like, nope, the fuck? And fast forward, her parents ended up pressing charges on me. And she swore that she was about that life, that she was a gangster. Bitch, what the fuck? And due to TikTok regulations, I don't think I could post it on here. But I'll post it on my close friends. So follow me on Instagram. If you know, you know. But yeah, that bitch ended up pressing charges and acted like the victim in front of the judge and said that I was bullying her. So there you guys have it. That's the story time when I fought this fucking stupid ass girl.